Iran buried its supreme leader this week, and at the funeral, millions of mourners were chanting for the American president's death. Within 24 hours, that president fired back on social media with one of the most explosive warnings in modern American history. Today is the deadline. Here's what you need to know. The name Khamenei is all over search right now because Iran just finished a days-long national funeral for its supreme leader, the man who ran the country for 37 years. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in a joint U.S.-Israeli airstrike on February 28th of this year. His body was carried across cities in Iran and Iraq before a final burial in Mashhad on July 9th. Millions of Iranians filled the streets, but what the cameras also captured and what went global were mourners holding posters calling for President Trump's death and a performer at the ceremony who openly called for his assassination. Today's story is about what happened next. Let's start with what's confirmed because there's a lot of noise online. According to NPR, ABC News, NBC News, and Al Jazeera, which all reported on this independently today, during Khamenei's multi-day funeral, crowds repeatedly displayed banners calling for the death of President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Euronews and Fox News both reported that at least one eulogist, a performer at the ceremony's using, made an explicit call for Trump's assassination. That is confirmed by name outlets. What it means for U.S.-Iran relations is where things get complicated because this funeral didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened in the middle of an active military standoff on the exact same day the U.S. gave Iran an ultimatum. President Trump responded today on Truth Social. This is a direct quote reported by ABC News and NPR. 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands more to immediately follow should the Iranian government act on its threat. He added, quote, that the U.S. military would completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. This post followed a U.S. official warning on Friday that if Iran doesn't comply with today's deadline, it is, quote, not going to be a great day for them. These are statements of intent from the President of the United States. Whether any military action follows is not confirmed, but it's a threat. To understand today, you need to go back 3 weeks. On June 17th, the U.S. and Iran signed what officials called a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, that included a ceasefire, documented by ABC News in a timeline published this week. The deal was meant to stop the military strikes that have been exchanged since February, but it started falling apart fast. According to PBS NewsHour and Axios, Iran attacked commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz multiple times after signing the MOU. On June 25th, Iran attacked the Singapore-flagged cargo ship MV Ever Lovely. Then in the first week of July, 2 more ships were hit, including the Al Rikayat, a Qatari liquefied natural gas carrier. The U.S. called those attacks a clear violation of the ceasefire. In response, the U.S. military struck Iranian military targets, 2 separate rounds of airstrikes according to PBS. Iran fired back with missiles and drones at U.S. military bases in Bahrain and Kuwait. PBS reported that Kuwait alone intercepted 3 ballistic missiles, 1 cruise missile, and 10 drones. At the NATO summit this week, President Trump declared the ceasefire deal over and called Iranian leadership scum. Which brings us to today, Saturday, July 11th. Axios reported Friday night that the Trump administration gave Iran until today to publicly confirm on the record that the Strait of Hormuz is open and that ships will not be attacked. The demand has been sent through direct channels and through regional mediators, according to 3 U.S. officials quoted by Axios. The consequences of refusal were laid out clearly. A U.S. official warned, quote, it is not going to be a great day for them. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is reportedly meeting with Oman's Foreign Minister today, as officials scramble to keep diplomatic options alive. Whether Iran meets the deadline and what happens if it doesn't is unconfirmed as of this video. That's the situation right now. Some fast context for anyone just catching up. Ali Khamenei was the supreme leader of Iran for 37 years, the most powerful person in the country above the elected president. He was killed in a joint U.S.-Israeli airstrike on February 28th, confirmed by NPR and the Washington Post at the time. That killing triggered the escalation that led to the strikes, the counterstrikes, the MOU in June, and now the collapse we're watching today. Since Khamenei's death, Iran has not publicly confirmed a permanent successor. That political vacuum is part of what's driving instability. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most critical oil choke points. Roughly 20% of the world's petroleum supply passes through it. A sustained shutdown would affect energy prices globally, which is exactly why the U.S. is pressing so hard for that public declaration. Here's my read, and I'm fencing this off clearly as analysis, not reporting. The funeral chants were emotionally charged, but they're also a predictable political signal inside Iran, and the U.S. administration had to respond. What I'm watching is whether Iran's meeting with Oman today produces any public language on Hormuz, or whether the deadline passes in silence. A public declaration costs Iran relatively little and buys time. Silence or defiance almost certainly triggers another round of military action. I'm not predicting. Nobody knows yet. But a diplomatic window is very narrow right now, and today's response, or non-response, will set the tone for everything that follows. Quick, honest recap. Confirmed. Iran buried Supreme Leader Khamenei on July 9th after his death in February. Confirmed. Mourners at the funeral called for Trump's death. A performer explicitly called for his assassination. Source to NPR, ABC, Al Jazeera, and Fox. Confirmed. President Trump posted a 1,000 missiles locked and loaded warning on Truth Social today. Confirmed. Iran violated the June 17th MOU by attacking commercial ships. The U.S. struck back twice. Iran hit U.S. bases in Bahrain and Kuwait. And today is the U.S. deadline for Iran to publicly renounce those Hormuz attacks. Unknown. Whether Iran complies and what happens if it doesn't. This is a developing situation as of July 11, 2026. Source to NPR, ABC News, PBS NewsHour, Axios, The Washington Post, Al Jazeera, and NBC News. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think Iran will back down by the end of today, or is this heading somewhere else? Drop your take below. And tomorrow I'm breaking down whichever story climbs to the top of search overnight, because the news doesn't wait and neither do we. I'll see you there.